On today's episode, we have two brand new features to take you guys through: Paperless Entry Inspections and Bills AI, plus 2 new ways for you to invoice tenants.
Let's jump into the loop.
Let's go. Welcome to The Loop, everyone. Our very first one of 2024. My name is Peter. I'm a product manager here at Property Me. Joining me, as always, we've got Christina. We know
Hey guys.
You know and love her, but we've got a very special guest today. Pradeepa is joining us for the very first time.
Welcome,
Hey,
Pradeepa.
Pradeepa is also a product manager here at Property Me, so she's going to be taking us through Bills AI in just a little bit. But first, what are we going to go through today, Christina?
We've got 2 massive features that we're going to show off today. So we've got Paperless Entry Inspections. Ooh. I know you guys have been hanging for this one, especially because we left you with such a massive teaser last time. And we've got Bills AI. So Bills AI has been in public beta for a little while. So I know you guys have seen some snippets of info, but we've got some new enhancements, and we've also got tenant water invoicing, which is very exciting. So please stay tuned. Yeah. Plus, we've got a free trial period for February for Bills AI too, so stick around. Yeah,
please make sure you stick around, but first I think we should go through Paperless Entry Inspections.
Let's go.
Guys, I'm super excited. So your Paperless Entry Inspections is going to cover your entry inspection process right from the start to signed, sealed, delivered, right into your document management. We ready?
We're ready.
Let's go. Guys, we have put so much love and effort into this feature. I could talk about Paperless Entry Inspections.
It's Peter's baby. He hasn't shut up about it, to be honest.
What I love about this as well is we're releasing this to standard and premium subscribers. So it's going to be ready and available for the majority of our users from tomorrow. We're going to go through and give you a little bit of a demo, but guys, as always, please, questions, comments, feedback, pop them in down below. We'll go through any questions that come up through the session today.
Yeah, and if you guys are on basic, this might be your opportunity to upgrade to our standard plan as well. Yeah. I think this feature is really going to be worth the switch as well.
100%.
So let me jump in and show you how to actually assign an entry inspection to a tenant.
Yes.
So first of all, you're going to notice a couple of new little tabs as well. So I'm in my inspector tab. I've just come back in after finishing my entry. I'm going to use Argyle Street as an example. I just want to make sure everything's sitting nicely before I get to share it with the tenant. Guys, take special note of our water efficiency section here for when Pradeepa jumps in and joins us too.
It now does more than just appear on the report.
Okay, so I'm happy how everything's sitting. I've got 100 million photos. I'm now ready to sign the inspection. So super simple, apply my little signature.
That is not your signature.
Okay.
Please.
Now that I hit save of my inspection, you'll see this brand new assign to tenant button. Very exciting. So now that I can assign to a tenant, I get my little pop-up that appears here. So here's my share with tenant toggle, which you all know from our other apps. I can also triple check just to make sure that these are my incoming tenants, not my previous tenants. So it's a nice little final check beforehand. Property Me will also pre-populate the return date for when the inspection's due to be returned based on your state. But you know, if the tenant's just collected keys today, a day late, I can always adjust. Yeah, if they ask for more time, I can always adjust the date here. So I might give them an extra day here. And finally, we've got like a little background setting, just a bit of a check, just to make sure that all of your inspection for only 21, a bit lazy today, all of your inspections have finished uploading. So once I've got that check, I can simply just hit assign. Pretty easy. So from there, a couple of things happen. There are a couple of triggers once I've done that. So the first is that in my inspection task or in my app box, you'll notice that we've got a brand new triggered message that will be available straight away. So if you guys want to tweak and add and change, chop and change there, it's basically just sharing with the tenant that it's ready to go. Really nice, simple instructions. And a nice little record, keeping a record of when you've actually sent that inspection as well. The next thing that it does once I share the inspection is you'll notice the inspection becomes read only. So no more changes from that point once you have assigned to the tenant. It's with the tenant, it's been handed across. It's like giving them a paper copy to say. Exactly. And in the inspection tab, now you can see that it's actually pushed through to my assign tab. I've got plenty of new filtering options for you to make it really easy. And what I really love is you get to see the tenant progress as well. Yep, so there's two. So if a tenant has opened up the inspection and they've started doing the report, it's going to say editing. Otherwise, if you've just sent them the email, it's going to sit as unopened until they actually open it up. And we've got new merge fields as well for the template. So if you want to whip up a little reminder template, say you filter by, you know, if the report's almost due, you might create a new little message template just to remind them that it's due in a couple of days, or if you need any help, reach out. Exactly. Love it. Oh, great. Cool. So that's the agent experience. Any questions or comments about that part so far, please pop them down below. Otherwise, I think we take the property manager hat off and put our tenant hat on. Tenant. I'll be the tenant today. So that report that Christina just assigned to her tenant, I've jumped into the tenant mobile app, and you'll be able to see straight away on the home page, I've got that entry inspection tile there ready. So I can see that it's due in 8 days. The property, and I'm going to go ahead and start the inspection. So we've gone with like a 3-step process for this. First up is the compliance and utilities. So this is all of the compliance and utilities information that the property manager has put in against the inspection. It's all come through and fed through. I love it. I think it's so clean and easy to read. You can simply scroll down. Depending on what state you're in, you might be greeted with a couple of different questions for the tenant. So I can say I agree with all of the above. We got your smoke alarms. Let's say I agree. I love the big buttons. It just makes it look so easy to fill out. Yeah. Space for additional comments. What we've also done as well is we don't want you guys to assign a report to a tenant and then be inundated with calls from tenants saying, I don't know how to do it, it's not working. So we've got that watch video button in the bottom left. That's going to bring up an instructional video for your tenants, and it will go through exactly how they can perform and conduct the inspection on the app. Let's continue, and I'm going to jump into step number 2. So this is the meat and the bones of the inspection. All of the areas are available for me. Let's start with the entrance and the hall. I've got a nice gallery view of all of the photos that the agent has taken. And I'm going to scroll down, and I can see all of those area items, the clean, undamaged, working. Scrolling through, and this room, I think the agent has done a phenomenal job. I've got that big I agree button up the top. We know our property managers are good. So that's marked that room as done. Tenants need to complete the whole report. We don't want half reports being filled in and sent back. Now let's jump into the lounge room. Now this one, not so much. Let's say the tenant's gone through and they've seen a couple of things that maybe they don't agree with. We've got that I disagree button in the top right.
And what that does is it opens up a toggle switch against each of the area items. So as a tenant, all you need to simply do is tap on the yes, no, and it will toggle between the both. And then you have to put in a comment. So if tenants don't agree with something, mandatory to put a comment.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, we can't just have no, 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 and no explanation as to why. So let's just say walls and hooks. We can say one small hole in wall. So we've got the comment in there. Now we can take it a step further, take a photo. A couple of choices, you can take brand new ones or select photos that you've already taken from the device. But for this one, let's take some brand new photos. And in case you couldn't tell, this is beautiful Sydney and beautiful Chris. She's gonna kill me for that. Okay, done. The only other thing that I wanted to show off as well is when we scroll up to the top, the tenant can now toggle between the agent photos and the tenant photos. So if I tap on one of the photos, it enlarges the view so you can see a little bit more clear. And let's pop in some notes against the actual photo. So we can pop in one small, and now all of that's going to feed through to the report.
So easy.
Yeah.
So easy.
Love it. It's easy to use. All the feedback that we've got from all of our beta testers so far has been so amazingly positive. So we hope and pray and know that you guys are going to love it. Let's move on to that very last one. And again, I can scroll through. And you know what? This one I'm very happy with, so I'm going to agree to that one as well. Continue to sign. Now, great news, everybody. We know that there's so many shared houses out there at the moment, especially with how expensive rents are. So we've got up to 10 tenant names and 10 tenant signatures that can appear on all of your entry inspection reports. So this inspection here, let's just say I'm Mark Jackson. I'm going to give it a nice, that is a horrible signature.
Wow.
And
Nice.
Christine, you can be Megan. Do you want a proper signature in there for me?
There you go.
That's worse.
Oh.
Okay, so let's save that. And now from here we can scroll all the way down to the bottom.
Sorry, I rotated
So
it for
right on
you.
my phone, what have you done?
Sorry.
Here we go. And we should be...
It's not fun
Back
doing
up.
it live sometimes.
No,
Sorry,
I never
guys.
have that setting on my phone, so apologies guys. I don't know why I felt the need to put it on there today. So I'm just going to go through and agree back to those and continue. Good news is that because you're connected to the internet, everything is saved. So you can jump straight back into the app, all of your data is there. Let's try this one more time. Signature, complete. Now this is the final step that the tenant has to do. Just hit that send button and now the report is being sent back to the property manager.
Super easy.
Yeah. The last thing that I'll show you within the Tenant mobile app is, and I love this, that tenants get a copy of that PDF inspection immediately. So if we jump into the activity, just give it a refresh and you can see the past activities. We've got that entry inspection. It's a blue hyperlink. Give it a tap and it's going to open up that completed report with all the signatures, all of the comments, and all the way down the bottom, we've got all of the photos that both the agent has taken along with the tenant.
Yeah, I love how they're in separate tabs as well. Makes it really easy to see.
Yeah, so we split them out so you know the difference between the photos that the agent has taken and the ones that the tenant has. So that's the tenant experience. Tell us what you think so far, everyone. And whilst your questions and comments are coming in, have we had any so far?
Check.
And whilst they're coming through, I might actually jump back to the main web application so you guys can see the second half, which is the agent experience. Any questions so far?
Let me check. I've got some really nice feedback. So, complete real estate. Thanks, Ebony. Amazing. Super excited to use paperless entry inspections.
Love, love, love.
Have a look. Keep going. Keep the questions coming, guys.
Seeing a bit of love in there, that's great.
Mhm.
Cool. Well, while we're waiting for those questions, let's jump back in and continue. So we're taking the tenant hats off now and putting the property manager hat back on. So that report that was just returned by the tenant, you'll see we get a notification to the property manager. So Christina, you've got that notification there, the tenant's returned the report. We've also got some new message triggers. So if I jump into the outbox, you'll see that we've got a couple of messages in there thanking the tenant for returning the report. Again, these are 100% customizable. You can put whatever information that you like in those templates at all. So depending on how your office likes to run, can depend on what you want to put in there. If I jump across to our inspections tab, you can see under the returned is where all of our returned inspections are going to sit. We've got the date that it was returned, the property, the tenant. What I love the most is this new PDF column. So we immediately PDF that report as soon as the tenant hits that return button. So as the property manager, you can simply click on that blue hyperlink and you've got access to that condition report.
Very cool.
The other way, I know there's two types of people. If we jump back into that inspection, if we open it up, we can actually see on the screen, we've got this new concept of orange dot indicators. So we know property managers are busy. We only want to draw your attention to the areas and the items that you need to actually look at. So we can see here that in the lounge room, we've got an orange dot next to the camera and the comment box. That simply means that there's tenant data there. So the tenant has taken photos and the tenant's disagreed with something and put a comment. So you don't need to even look at the entrance or the kitchen because the tenant's agreed with everything. So those orange dot indicators are going to come super handy. If I scroll down, I can see that the tenant has disagreed, and all the way down the bottom, we've got the agent photos, and we can switch across to our tenants.
Oh, I love that. There's actually a couple of questions that have come through.
Awesome.
So Dale has asked, the photos that are taken and submitted by the renter, are they date and time stamped?
Not at the moment, but that is good feedback to know. Tell us if you'd like to see that implemented. We might be able to put a switch or something in.
Nice.
But the report is dated itself, so anything that the tenant has taken and sent through, we'll be able to know when it was.
Beautiful.
When it was taken.
Tom Taplin has asked, is there a limit of photos per room?
Infinity +1. They can take as many photos as they like. We know that we're expecting lots of tenants to take lots and lots of photos. Everyone wants to cover themselves. They can take as many photos as they like.
Perfect. Sam Berryman, are we able to print and send the old-fashioned way for tenants that aren't savvy?
100%. So that read-only report that Christina showed you earlier, that same print button is still there. You can print it, give it to your tenants, and then do it the old school way. It's up to you guys.
Yeah, nice. And one more, Right Choice Real Estate, is the ingoing sent to one person as the primary tenant?
So the email message template goes out to all of the tenants that are part of that contact. But just on that, only one person can start and conduct the inspection. So let's say Pradeepa, Christina and I are all renting a party house together.
Party house.
And I open up the inspection, it's locked to me, so I have to finish it. But I can hand the device around to everyone to get their signatures or to get your input as well.
Nice, I love that. Keep the questions coming, there's some good ones in there.
Yeah. Another question that I think a lot of people would like to ask is what happens if you assign a report to a tenant and they just never return it, they never open it, or maybe they start it and they just never finish it? We've got you covered for that as well. So if I jump back into my inspections, jump into assign, so these are the inspections that we've given to tenants that we're waiting for them to return. If you open the report and hit complete, we go OK. Now, just like magic, we're automatically PDFing that report. So if you jump across to the Documents tab, you'll be able to see that we've got a PDF copy of the report sitting just here. So that way your tenants are always going to have that copy regardless of whether they've actually digitally returned it or they've just left it.
Oh, nice. All right, let's see if we've got any more questions that have come through. So the email templates will be available from tomorrow. So this is going to be live and ready for you to go. And with those templates, so we've got extra merge fields. So there'll be two. So one is triggered on assigned, once it's assigned, and then one is triggered once it's returned as well.
Correct, yeah. Cool. Well, that's it for Paperless. The only other thing that I want to mention, guys, is anyone that's out there using the Property Me Agent mobile app on iOS or Android, we do a weekly training session. So if you're ever finding that the app's not working the way you'd like it to, come along, because Scott goes through every single setting in that app, and it's things like date and time stamps on photos and when you want photos to upload. So I 100%
good tip.
Yeah, jump in, have a look, and you might learn something that you didn't know.
So we've got, that's Paperless Entry Inspections, so it's all in one spot, one platform for tenants and PMs ready to go for tomorrow. Nice.
I love it.
Should we move on to Bill's AI?
Yeah, cool. So next up, we've got Pradeepa joining us to go through Bill's AI. But first, let's have a sneak peek at what we're in for. super excited about Bills AI
Very
as
cool.
well.
Yeah, really exciting new AI features coming to Property Me as well. Welcome, Pradeepa. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me here,
So
guys.
excited. So my first question would be, what is the difference between bill scanning and Bills AI?
Bills AI is an entirely new way of reading bills. Unlike bill scanning, which refers to the barcode to retrieve limited information, Bills AI reads the content of the bill just like how we read a bill.
Very cool.
Like it has eyes.
Not quite.
So it can scan bills that do not have barcodes, such as maintenance bills, smoke alarm bills, and even legible handwritten bills.
Wow.
Handyman, handwritten.
Yes, that's right.
Scans it.
That's right. It can also read water usage details. So Bills AI can populate all the bill and invoice details. Processing bills using Bills AI is much faster.
You could imagine if I had 300 rates and 100
Bill,
levies, but then I've
invoice,
got all of the bills from my traders as well.
Yeah.
Amazing. Very cool.
This is an opt-in feature available to all our Australian customers for a fee of 20 cents per page scan, and you can choose the number of pages to scan.
Oh, before it scans.
Yes.
Cool.
Very cool. Yeah, so you can kind of pick and choose. If you wanted to even trial it for our free trial period just with 100 rates or something like that, and then do everything else with our normal bill scanning feature. So of course we are still keeping our known and loved bill scanning feature.
It's not going anywhere.
No, it's not, and it's going to continue to be free for all of our users. Unlike other platforms, you do have a choice.
And I think you're taking everyone through a slight change
yes,
with
we've
that as
even
well
got
a
an
bit later today.
enhancement to bill scanning as well. So stay tuned for later in the episode because I'm going to show you that through as well, which is very cool. So we want to see how it works. Can you show us how to upload to Bills AI?
Yes, let me jump into my portfolio. So I have activated Bills AI, gone through the setup guide that we have for our customers. And to upload, simply click on Bills AI, select the number of pages you wish to scan, click upload, and I've got here a couple of bills. That's one way. Another way is you might receive emails. Bills.
I think
As
the majority
emails,
of
yeah, I
people
think
send
Probably
emails
most will be
these
by
days.
email. Yeah.
Just navigate into Property Me inbox. You can select multiple attachments across multiple emails and send it to Bills AI in one go.
Without
Nice.
having to open up each individual
That's
email
right.
and send them. Cool.
Navigating back to Bills AI. Looks like I have about 18 bills uploaded. It's still processing. And you can see majority of my bills have gone into for review, and a couple of them are in the attention and none in incomplete.
Yeah,
So if you
it
have
really just shows you what you need
Where
to
they've
focus
landed.
on first and where they've landed.
That's
Great.
right. If you have followed our setup guide, you'll have less number of bills in the incomplete tab.
Yep.
Bills that have been flagged and require your attention will be placed in the attention tab.
Yep.
For instance, bills related to a bill alert or a job or
Duplicates.
duplicate bills, exactly. And if you have a longer list of bills in the attention tab, you can simply use the filter to narrow it down further.
Oh, cool.
Ah, that's really easy. Yeah, nice.
Let's move on to the for review. I have
These are the good ones, yeah?
these are the good ones. I can choose to process them one by one by selecting the relevant bills and tap on edit details, or I can choose to create them in bulk by clicking on the create bill.
Yeah, so I can already see how quick that will be if
Yeah.
you've got most of your bills in for the review.
Yeah.
One click of a button rather than
Exactly.
scanning next,
One by
filling
one.
out the blanks. That's going to save so
And
much
all
time.
of those council strata, all of those regular bills that come through,
Yes.
they're always going to go to
For
that for
review.
review section.
Exactly,
Yeah, awesome.
exactly.
That's great. Could you show us something that's not a rate? So we know with normal bill scanning that Property Me will read some of that bill, but what about something else, say from a tradie?
Yep. I've got a great bill here, so let's quickly jump into this one. It's a handwritten bill.
So tradies just handwritten something on a piece of paper.
Exactly.
Who wrote that? Jeez.
So it has populated all the fields.
It's mine, guys. Be kind. That's really impressive. That is, I can't even read that. That is really impressive.
Yeah, it's good if it can read it and we can't.
And we can't. We also spoke about water invoicing, so I know that's a massive big ticket item. We talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see what Bills AI does with water invoicing.
Sure. I've got 2 water bills. Let's look at the first one. As you can see, it has populated all the bill details as well as the invoice details. And if you have a quick look at this bill content, it's got 2 water usage line items, and Bills AI has calculated the total amount and populated the invoice amount.
That is going to save so much time.
Yeah.
So much time.
And I've got another bill where if a tenant has recently moved in, Bills AI is able to retrieve the water meter reading from your entry inspection report and display it over here so that you can determine the correct invoice amount.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's what you were referring to
Yes,
earlier
yeah.
on those entry inspection reports. If you charge tenants for water, you should be popping in that field. So if you do, it's going to feed through to Bills AI and charge correctly. Love it.
I love that. So good. I noticed you had little pre-filled spots as well.
Exactly.
Give us a tip for how we set that up.
So the beauty of Bills AI is that you can customize your invoice details and bill details fields using merge fields.
Nice.
So you can see over here it has displayed the meter reading information from the bill itself, the previous meter reading, the current meter reading, along with the dates. And you can simply set it up in your accounts section. So I'll quickly jump into my water usage.
And that's just set and forget, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
because you'll never have to change them or update them because it's going to read through.
Exactly,
what
and
the bill
then
says.
kind of follows a consistent pattern in terms of data
It
entry.
looks much
Yeah.
nicer for there as well.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that very much. All right, guys, let's see. Actually, we'll stick with questions later. I wanted to get back to the free February release. So
Yes.
just in time for Valentine's Day tomorrow, we've got free Bills AI access starting tomorrow until the end of the month. So jump in, try it, like it, love it, keep it. Have you got a hot date for Valentine's Day?
Of course.
I love that. Pradeepa, thank you so much for joining us. Please stick around for questions. I'm sure we will have some questions coming up.
Sure.
And team, make sure you register for Scott's training. So we're going to have live Bills AI training with trainer Scott. It's going to be Thursday at 11. Daylight savings time.
Correct.
And also check out the website for T's and C's and some standards for Bills AI as well, which is really, really cool. All right, let's hop in. Give me a hand with these questions, please, because I'm sure that we will have quite a few.
Getting a lot of
Oh, we
love
got some
today.
really
That's all
nice. Thank you, Nicole. Orange Dot Love, it's been cut off, such a time saver for busy PMs. Thank you. All right, keep going, keep going. So Victoria has asked, will this work for water bills in New Zealand?
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Cool. So Australia for the moment,
Australia for the moment.
but later down the track.
Exactly.
Awesome. We did have one saying, is it possible to run Bills AI and bill scanning in parallel?
You have to choose either. So you can stick with bill scanning or switch on Bills AI.
Cool.
Nice. Which is just just in your settings to be able to toggle on and off.
Yep.
But you can actually upload a single bill. So if you're
Okay.
using Bills AI, but if you get just a random, someone comes in and you just want to scan and
Yeah. Or
and
you think there's
upload it
no way they're
yourself.
going to be able to read this. Yeah, you
Yep.
can put them through the old way as
Yep.
well, yeah.
Yeah, nice. All right, team. That's all I can see for now. Just a few more comments, which is great. We love the comments coming through. Anything else, Peter?
I just really want everyone to take advantage of the free bills for February. So try it, and there's no cost involved for Feb. So jump in, see how it goes. I hope you guys have some. What's today? Surely there's some rates notices.
There's always something. There's always something that's due.
Yeah.
All right. So we did promise another way for invoicing water. So I'm going to show you guys through another feature that we've got coming up. So this feature is going to auto-populate that tenant create invoice
Oh,
toggle.
the checkbox.
Yep,
Yeah.
so for the checkbox, and that's going to be a massive time saver, and it's just going to streamline all of your tenant invoicing, which is great. So think of all of the charges that you might onset, like water usage, commercial tenants, even if you've got outgoings for things like tenant gardening or pool maintenance or something that's reoccurring, it's going to be a massive, massive time saver.
Yeah.
Jump in, I'll show you a little bit of the setup. It's really, really simple to set up. So this is available for all of our users. It works amazing with Bills AI, but you can also use it standalone as well. So basic users, you jump on and start using it too. So first, what I'm going to do is jump into my supplier that I have an on charge for. So I'm going to go and have the example of water usage today. So I've gone into Sydney Water, and if I edit the folio, you'll now notice a tenant invoice account. So if I toggle yes, I can select my chart of account, and that's what's going to pre-populate when a bill comes in. So once I save that, the next thing you'll need to do is just configure all of the tenants that will have an on charge. So I can do that one-on-one, or I can actually do that in bulk as well. In this example, I might just show you in the tenant folio what the change is. So in my little edit pencil for my tenant Chris, I can see that water usage, and I can toggle pays from there. All right, so
no more labels.
No more
for this.
labels.
Yeah.
Although alerts are still going to be handy
Oh,
if there's any kind of special, notes that you want to see when you upload the bill. So alerts are still a great idea, but no more labels. So to do it in bulk, you can also do that via contacts. So if I jump into contacts and tenants, I can actually select all the tenants that I know. And this is where labels might come in handy if you want to do it in bulk. And I can update my water usage from there as
Awesome.
well.
So that changes the setting for each of those that you select in bulk.
Yep, exactly. So again, that's set and forget. And just remember, when you put in a new tenant, if it's water efficient, you're going to be on charging them some kind of tenant contribution. You can toggle that on while you're putting in all of their folio stuff as well. Okay, let me give you a demo. So I've got a little rate that I've got a little Sydney water bill, and I can go ahead and upload it. It's hiding. And straight away you can see that a bill scanner has pre-populated a lot of our details, and our create tenant checkbox, invoice checkbox is already done by default. So I followed my little setup notes as well and put in some populated descriptions. So all I need to do here is just fill out the amount. Really, really simple. But remember, if you're using Bills AI,
it does this for you.
It does it for you. So massive, massive time saver, guys.
Yep. And less room for error as well. If you've got the setting against your tenant, you know whether you have to charge them or not. So
yeah, that's great. All right, if there's any questions about that one, please pop it in. I might jump in to have a look to see if there are any new ones.
Whilst we've got Pradeepa here, I might jump back to Bills AI for a second, because a good question has just come through from Mint Property asking, can you please confirm 20 cent per page for Bills AI versus 20 cent per scan? So if a bill has more than one page, is it 40 cents, for example?
So you can choose the number of pages you wish to scan. So let's say you've got a insurance bills that's 10 pages, and the bill details is in the second page. So you can choose scan first 2 pages, and the charge would be 40 cents.
So the rest of the documentation still
is intact.
It's only reading the information from the first 2 pages to populate.
Okay. So if you've got the common one's going to be like compliance
Strata.
or strata as well, with minutes and stuff attached. But I mean, if your smoke alarm company sends you the bill, the certificate of insurance, and then a photo, it could be like a little report that they send you through. When you send it to Bills AI, you can select that Bills AI is only reading that first page, but the owner's still going to get the whole attachment, and the whole attachment is still going to save in your folios as well.
Yeah, cool.
Very cool. All right, let's see if we've got anything
Sorry to
else
hijack your bill
that's
scan.
Let's have a look.
Lots of questions coming through.
I'm just trying to keep up,
read,
guys.
Yeah, trying to read them first.
So Crystal's asked, can you select the tenant pays bills for the standard bill option so the reminder pops up? So essentially you'll need to configure all of the tenants that have an on-charge, like water usage, or you can even use, it's pretty flexible, this feature. Like I would use it for my commercial tenants as well.
100%.
So if you know that your commercial tenants have a on-charge for electricity
strata,
or something like that, you would jump into those suppliers first and add the chart and then configure to the tenants too.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. So Pradeepa, a question from Knight Rider. Will it show the dates between the usage rather than just saying water usage in the description?
That's right. If you use the merge fields, there are two merge fields, meter reading from date and meter reading to date. So you can define the description.
I know what I'd be doing
I've
tomorrow.
seen so many times people just put water usage in the description and then no one knows what period it actually covers you for.
Yep.
Love that.
That's what I would be doing tomorrow.
Yeah.
As soon as you see our green new release
notes,
banner, have a look through the notes. We'll have a link there for training as well.
Yeah. Switch it on.
Switch it on. Go through. Really super simple setup. Really set and forget in that way.
Yeah.
All right. I think we've got time for one more question.
You got one there?
Getting there. So Stacey has actually one for inspection. Stacey has asked, hi, can two agents use this at the same time? Currently only one agent at a time can use the app, one taking photos and one adding comments.
Sorry, I was just replying to another comment. Can you just repeat that one more time?
Yeah, for sure. So she's asking whether you can use, have two agents completing an entry at the same time.
Look, at the moment, it's not really recommended and designed to. It is designed for one person to go out, but we have heard that feedback and we are aware that is something that you guys want to, so leave that with us and stay tuned. It is something that we're working on, but for now, it's recommended that one person conduct the inspection.
That's great. Love the questions. All right, team.
Cool. Well, let's do a little bit of a summary. So first up, Bills AI, tomorrow, 3 February. Take advantage, jump in. Second of all, the training. So Thursdays we've got Bills AI training with Scott, and then straight after we've got Paperless Entry Inspections training. So jump into both with Scott and he'll be able to take you through everything. And also the release notes tomorrow, they'll be popped up, that green banner along the top. Check them out. This video will also be, I believe, part of the release notes. So if you missed any of today's session, you can rewatch that there.
Nice.
And just free Bills AI for Feb again.
I have one more thing.
Oh, you do?
Before we go.
Going off
our
script,
team, before we go, our team are working on a brand new feature. So please make sure you tune in for our March loop, because we're showing our brand new rental statistics report, and it's got new calculations, enhancements with filters. It's really a one-stop shop for key rental metrics.
Is this the one-page report?
It's the one-pager.
Yes.
It's the business reporting. I know. So if you guys are part of the test program, look out for an email to join to get early access.
Yeah.
That's definitely one that I would watch out for. So stay tuned.
Yeah, cool. Well, that's
I
it
think
from
that's
us, everyone. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time in the loop.